Hey friends, welcome to Slash Sisters. I am Slash Sister Jen.
And I'm Slash Sister Hallie, and as you can tell, we have a special guest with us. We promised a special guest, and we delivered.
That's right. Today, we are welcoming our wonderful guest to this humble little show. This guy right here is a horror aficionado. He goes to countless conventions every year, and he's probably met more horror icons than I can ever even, fathom in my brain. And he's one of the great people behind Anthony's Collectibles and Funko Mafia of Peoria. So, with that, we welcome Jeff Brown.
Thank you for
on.
Do you mind telling us just a little bit of what you do with Anthony's Collectibles and Funko Mafia?
Well, it all started out, Anthony had initially started an eBay page and had been doing that for a few years. We met, he started doing pop swaps over in East Peoria GameStop. We met, became great friends. He told me his plans with what he had for long term for the business, and I was like, you know what, buddy, I can help you with that.
That's awesome.
You know, after playing bands and stuff like that for years, the networking kind of comes natural. The marketing and the advertising comes the natural. And, you know, met you guys and try to network as much as we can with everybody.
Exactly, that's what we're trying to do too.
So do you guys have like a brick and mortar store?
We do not. We basically run out of our own houses. It saves us the overhead of, you know.
And you do like shows and conventions and all that
we just
stuff,
basically shows and conventions. And we're actually have started looking into possibly starting to vend at the Days of the Dead Comic.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
We'll see what happens with that.
That would be amazing. So guys, I actually have something that I need to show you. It's something that, from what I've heard, belongs to a psychic. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta just show you. It's kind of wrapped up. Isn't that the most ugly, hideous shit you ever seen in your damn life? No, it's not. That's terrible. You could sure try. Go right ahead. You know what? Let me show you this other one. Because I did too. Because I just wasn't satisfied with making one that looked like shit. I had to make another one that looked like shit. You guys, making hands is probably one of the hardest things you can possibly do. Especially when said hand is shaped like this. Okay? With the hand going like this, every time that I would get it somewhat right, it just falls over. It just falls over. You could wait. This one is weighted down. That's the only reason it's not falling over. There's a vase inside of there, okay? It's covered in paper mache and spackle.
I believe it's called a vase.
A vase. A vase. And it's got wire and paper mache and spackle, and yeah, this is probably the better of the two.
Hey, still a valiant.
But look at that shit, you guys. I texted Hallie earlier today and I was like, I can't wait for you to see this.
I was not expecting.
I was hyping it up so big. I was like, I cannot wait for you guys to see this shit. It's gonna be great. Yeah, no, this is awful. This is just, it's some kind of awful. We'll put this back here because it's gonna fall over.
It's some kind of something.
Yeah, we'll bring him up against Jason for now, and this one can stay, I guess. Now I'm making a mess of the table because, like I said, spackle. Because that was my brilliant idea. I don't know. I tried real hard, you guys.
You know, her creations are usually pretty good.
They usually are.
Jason
over there looks great. I mean,
the Necronomicon,
the Jason or the Freddy phone, all that stuff. I mean, all that stuff. But this, hands ain't easy, you guys. Hands are not easy.
So, would you say that this is hands down the worst project you've ever done?
Hands up, really.
I couldn't resist.
Yes,
it was right there.
It was right there. I set you up for it. You set yourself up for it, really. Anyways, you ready to get into this movie? Let's do it.
Well, with that being said, we are actually talking about Talk to Me today.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But we'll go ahead and get into our story. It starts at a house party in
Adelaide.
Thank you. In South Australia. Yes, that's right. We were going back to Australia.
That's right, folks.
Cole walks through the party looking for his brother, Duckett.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with his other brother, Fuckett.
Yeah.
Well, when he finds Duckett, he attempts to bring him home. They walk out into the party where everyone has their phones out filming what is happening.
Yeah, and that, I think, is like That's our first glance at it, but that is a major playing role in this film. It moves a lot of things along in this film. The presence of social media, the presence of the cell phones being there all the time. I'm 40 years old. Hallie's 41. I'm not sure how old you are.
I will be 50 in August.
There you go. Yeah. So, like, we're of an age where we did not grow up with cell phones.
Thank fucking
you know what
Christ
I mean?
for that.
I cannot imagine what it's like to be a teenager with cell phones, with social media, and what it must be like right
I think
now.
it's funny you ask a teenager how they answer a phone.
Right. Push button.
Yeah.
Where you ask us, how do you answer a phone?
Yep.
Yeah. It's always...
It'll always be this.
Yeah.
Always.
Where's my banana? Anyways.
No, dancing monkey, you don't get it.
Duckett, as they're standing there and Cole is trying to get everybody to stop filming, Duckett stabs Cole in the chest.
Do you think he died from that?
Cole? No, because he comes back later in the movie.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, not to spoil anything.
Cole
survives.
It's not like I just watched this yesterday or anything.
However, Duckett does not survive this because he walks out onto the deck and promptly plants a knife into his own face, which is startling and something like when I was watching it was like. It shook me. I was like, dang!
That was one of the great parts about this movie. Was the graphic. Just
the
in
cold
your
open.
face.
The just fucking.
And they don't.
Yes.
They do not give a shit. They are putting it right up in your face.
So I actually read in trivia on IMDb for this that when A24 approached them, they actually asked them to reshoot this in America.
Really, and they refused.
They said no.
Yeah,
we want everything from Australia to be Australian.
Yeah, well, and they were like really. They were. I mean, they did everything. They did everything in Adelaide. That's their. They were
actually offered a chance to direct a Marvel movie prior to this.
Yeah, and they turned it down.
They turned it down.
They turned down a lot of studios so that they could have their own vision with this, and they could keep their own vision.
You got to give them,
and this was their first film, their first major film. They've been filming for years.
They had a lot of stuff on YouTube. They have like millions of views on YouTube from like their stuff that they've done over the years.
It's the Filippo brothers, and their Raka Raka is their
collaborator.
Well, that's their YouTube channel. So they do, Raka Raka is their YouTube channel, and they collaborate with a bunch of different people, but that's where all their videos and stuff go to. So, yeah, I mean, and actually, apparently the people at the party are, like, all their friends that have been in all their YouTube videos. It doesn't
surprise me in the least.
So they just, like, pulled all their friends in, and they were like, hey, we're filming, so we need you in the background.
Kind of a Kevin Smith kind of
thing. Right, yeah, so we're filming, we don't have any money to pay you, but there's going to be drinks at the party, so you should come.
Exactly.
Oh, also somebody's going to stab themselves in the face, but that's okay. It's no big deal. It's going to be fake.
It's not real.
Just react like it's real.
Yep.
Next, we meet teenager Mia, who is is she with her family? I thought she was with family.
I mean, she's at like a family function, like a celebration for her mom, right?
Right,
like
but it's like I mean, she's clearly not related to these people.
No, it's like a celebration for her mom, but like there was at one point her dad comes and gets her and says her auntie wants to talk to her.
Exactly.
So that is like, I mean, that's really the only family that we know of, but the rest of them might just be like Max's friends and like her mom's friends. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't have a lot of family. It's kind of left vague.
Right. It is the second anniversary of her mom's death, who died by taking too many sleeping pills.
Or at least that's what we're told.
That's the story we're given.
That's the story that we're given, yeah. I didn't even offer you a drink.
I got one stashed over here. So after the celebration, Mia convinces her best friend Jade and Jade's little brother Riley to sneak out to a gathering hosted by Haley and Joss.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And we know how that goes.
There are videos going around, and, I mean, Mia's showing the videos to Jade. There's videos going around of different teenagers looking possessed after having touched a hand that is supposedly an embalmed hand. And Mia wants
mummified
hand of a psychic or possibly a Satanist. I don't know. They mention a lot of different things that it could be. Anyways, but Mia wants to go to this party to see if it's real and to kind of like check it out and see what's going on. And Jade's like, come on, it's fake. Like, there's no way that it's real. But she convinces them to go.
Being somebody who has lost a parent, I would have done the same fucking thing.
You know?
I lost my dad when I was 19, so I would have done the same fucking thing.
Yep.
At the party, it is made pretty clear that not many people like Mia. especially not Haley.
Yeah. I mean, Haley, like, pretty much says, like, she bothers the fuck out of me. Like, I mean, like, I get it. Like, there's some people who just bother people. Like, there's some people whose, like, personalities just don't get along, you know?
Right.
But it seems pretty clear that, like, Mia's only real friend is Jade.
Mm-hmm.
So when Haley brought out the embalmed hand and asks who wants to go first, Mia volunteers to be first.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right? But it's kind of after she's like, okay, so, like, Daniel, right? Like, that's Jade's boyfriend. Like, they're, like, sitting next to each other and kind of, like, touching each other's hands. And there's some history between Mia and Daniel. I guess they, like, held hands at one point or something. They, like, kind of were boyfriend and girlfriend a few years ago. But not, like, they held hands. That was it. Like, that's as far as it went. And it kind of seems like that's as far as it went with Jade, too.
By all means, go for it.
Yeah.
I
So...
dare you to say talk to me.
I'll do it. You know
Right?
I will.
Right? So the rules of the game are you light the candle, you hold the hand and say, talk to me, and then something happens.
Whatever spirit presents themselves to you.
Yeah, then you say, I let you in. And you cannot stay with the hand for longer than 90 seconds. Otherwise, the spirits will want to stay.
Right, and after 90 seconds, someone is to remove the hand and
Yeah.
blow out the candle, closing the connection.
Right.
Which doesn't always go so
Doesn't
well,
always go
but
so
Steve-
smooth, yeah.
When Mia goes,
Talk to me.
she is possessed by a spirit that is menacing and focusing on Riley.
Yeah.
And when they go to pull the hand away, they struggle to get it away, which ended up making Mia go over the 90 seconds.
Just a little.
we
Yeah,
don't-
it wasn't much. They didn't say by how
They didn't
much.
say-
just
They
said-
didn't disclose that.
Yeah,
You just
they
see
really
by
didn't.
the look on their face.
I mean,
it's like,
later,
oh no.
later, when another person goes over, they specifically say he went for 2 minutes.
Which is Riley.
Riley
the-
later,
Yes.
but like they don't say how far over Mia went. They
Right.
just that she went over slightly.
So then the next night, Jade asked Haley and Joss to bring the hand to her house that night. Mia joins Haley, Joss, and Jade's boyfriend Daniel, Riley, and Riley's friend James at the house.
Yeah, the kid with the mullet. I love the little fat kid with the mullet. Like my little spirit animal kid. Anyways, Daniel goes first, and the spirit that inhabits him is Haley. In Haley's words, a cunt.
I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yes. You might have to bleep that out because I'm not sure if I can say that on YouTube.
We're not
Anyways,
monetized. We're
so
okay.
it doesn't matter.
There you go.
The spirit ends up making him fall to the floor. He begins humping the floor. And then the dog comes over. Now, I promise you, it's even in the credits. No dogs were harmed. No dogs were made out with. They put a treat in front of his face and let the dog just eat the treat in front of his face. It made it
Still
look really
fucked up
disgusting.
scene, though.
But yeah, this
It
scene
looked-
is fucked.
It looked
Because
legit.
he grabs the dog and starts like pulling on the dog. Yeah, it's usually the Jenny Retching show. It's the Jeff Retching show today.
Yeah.
We don't like it. It's pretty gross.
Everyone except Riley and his friend James take several turns being possessed, invoking different spirits each time. In a really fun scene where we get to see the kids just having fun and being possessed.
I mean,
Because
it is fun
possession
to
is
watch
always
them.
fun.
Hell yeah! Why not Possession as a party game?
Exorcist.
Yeah.
Need I say more?
Right.
This movie, need we say more? I mean, shit.
Well, you said possession as a party
I know,
game.
I
I'm
know.
saying Exorcist. You know,
Right.
you're all
I
gonna
mean-
die up there.
This sounds like, it seems like fun. This whole scene where they're like holding it and they're like using it like a dick and like slapping each other with it and stuff. It's so funny. Like, it is such a great scene.
let's face it. If
It's
we were
teenagers
doing it
being
as
teenagers.
teenagers, we would have done the
Yeah.
same
Yeah, oh,
shit.
yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure,
'Cause
for
you're,
sure.
You're not buying into it. You know, you don't
No,
think it's real.
well,
Like, oh,
I mean,
sure, yeah,
until you
oh,
put your hand on it, and then you're
right.
like, oh fuck, this is real.
Yeah, who the hell
Oh
are
shit,
you?
oh shit.
So Jade refuses to let Riley participate, but all the others indulge. When Jade leaves the room, Riley insists and Mia lets him take turns for 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Or what was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah, she agrees. They all agree. Well, they agree. I don't know if they all agree, but they do agree to let him do it.
Riley appears to be possessed by the spirit of Rhea, Mia's mother,
Yeah.
who attempts to reconcile with Mia.
Yeah.
Or me, as she calls
Yeah,
her.
she calls her me. That's how she knew it was her. Because he turned and looked at her and called her me while he was possessed. Yeah, it was...
Yeah, right. So Mia stops the group from ending the possession in time to keep talking to her mother.
Yeah, like this. Okay, so this scene, I get. You get.
100% I get.
You get.
100%.
You have lost very close friends and family.
my little brother, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I lost my husband. You lost your dad. And put yourself in. You would be like prime situation for this. You know what I mean?
I actually have talked to my dad through the spirit board.
Right, and that's incredible.
Yeah.
If I was in a position and I was at a party like this and somebody like turned and looked at me and said "kitten," that's what Luke always called me. I would fucking lose my mind.
Yeah,
I would not want them to let go. I would want that spirit to stay, even though we know that's not actually who it is. You know, we find that out later.
You don't know that at the time.
Yeah,
but
I
mean, we as horror aficionados have an idea.
I understand how this works in the movies.
Right.
They take on this the look or the presence of someone else that you recognize or love, one that you've lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they know how to do things like that. But in an incredibly violent scene, the spirits take over Riley's body and force him to smash his head into the table over and over again, and then his body flies against the wall into the window, and he smashes his head again into the corner of a bookcase. And like Jade runs in, she slams her hand in there. He ends up slamming his hand onto her head onto her hand, breaks her hand. I mean, you see the rest of the movie, she's in a cast.
Right.
That scene was brutal. Brutal.
The first time I watched it, I think I like jolted to the edge of my seat.
You're like, holy!
And I was
but then it
doesn't stop.
You want to turn away.
It doesn't stop. It just keeps going, and you're like, shit! Fuck! Oh my god!
I watched this the day before filming this, and I'm sitting there and I'm playing on my phone because I like to read trivia when I watch movies.
While you're watching it, yeah.
And I see it out of the corner of my eye. He just slams his head on the table. I'm like,
holy shit!
What the fuck just happened?
Right?
And then he does it again.
Yeah.
And again.
And it just doesn't
stop. And you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Mm-hmm. And that's when this is like, the actual moment when you realize, like, oh, shit's getting fucking real.
Right.
Like, this is horror. This is the horror. Like, before it was like spirits, and like that's still horror. But now, no. We're getting into the gore of it. We're getting into the bit of it. Yeah, we're into the meat and potatoes here.
Riley, as a result of his actions, or actions of the possessed,
really,
ends up in intensive care, and everyone is angry with Mia for letting him use the hand, which basically I think they said he used it for like 2 full minutes.
Yeah, that's what was revealed later, was that he was on for 2 whole minutes.
And they pretty much try to keep her out of the hospital.
Yeah, they kind of force her away. Like Sue, which is Jade and Riley's mom, she comes out and she's like, I freaking love that character. She's so funny when she's trying to suss out the party earlier in the movie. She's like, what time's the party? Right. You know? And like,
it's okay. It's
okay. The Jade already told me. What time's the party at? Like, I can't wait to do that shit to my kids. I really cannot wait.
I can totally see you doing that.
Oh, I'm totally going to. Oh, I'm gonna get her. She doesn't even know it. Anyways, it's something.
So after all this, Mia begins seeing visions of her mom, having secretly taken the hand back to her home.
Yeah. When she was like, she had it in the backpack, I think, with her when Daniel at the hospital was like, I'll give you a ride home. So
she had it at that point.
Daniel goes to give her a ride home. She's got the hand in her possession, in her trusty backpack. I mean, that backpack. Can you imagine? I had this freaking backpack at my house. It's like almost exactly the same one as the movie.
It just means the writing all over it.
I know. Well, so does the hand. I didn't have time for that, apparently. But she, so like, Daniel offers to give me a ride home, and she kind of like convinces him to stay because he told his parents that he was with his cousins. He's over 18, so the police didn't call his parents. Right. So he's like, can't go home, otherwise I'm gonna get in trouble. And she was like, just stay at mine, and so he goes back to the house, and things progress from there.
Oh god. While sharing a bed with Daniel, because this is always gonna end well, she witnesses a spirit appear and suck on Daniel's feet.
Like the whole ass foot. She was like, oh.
Keep that bad boy.
And that spirit was gross. Oh, she was nasty. Can we talk about the spirits and how they're so like wet looking and
watery, waterlogged? Yeah,
they look gross, and like their skin looks like it's all falling off of them. I mean, it's just, Every single one of them. I mean, they all have different looks to them.
They did a great job with the special effects.
Oh my gosh, the special effects were incredible. Incredible.
When Daniel wakes up, he instead sees Mia sucking on his feet in a trance, and leaves very
freaks the fuck out. I would have been freaking the fuck out too.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right? Like, I don't care who you are. If I woke up and Randy had my foot in his mouth, I'd be like, get the fuck off of me! What are you doing? I'd probably kick him in the face.
You would.
I would. I'd be like, what the hell?
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I would not be okay.
Oh, too funny. So Mia uses the hand to contact Rhea, who insists that her death was accidental and that she needs to help Riley. Mia doesn't blow out the candle, leaving the connection to her mother open.
Yeah. So she uses the hand, doesn't blow out the candle. I mean, I'm sure it goes out eventually because it's a candle.
It's going to burn out.
Right, but she left that open, and it doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter because those spirits are attached.
Right, after that 50 seconds, it's already
they've already been attached to her. She's already been seeing things even before that.
How did she remove the hand, though?
Yeah. She just let go on her own?
Exactly.
I don't know. Somehow she let go.
Maybe at that point she didn't have to keep a hold of it. At that point, the demon.
Well, yeah, she was already seeing.
They were already leeching on her.
Right? Well, yeah, because at one point she after she contacts her mom, she goes and lays down, and her mom spoons her, snuggles up behind her, and just puts her to sleep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That was after Daniel left the house. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, she's let them in for sure. The friends track down Cole, which is the brother of Duckett, the one who stabbed himself in the face. And he explains that the living body will naturally expel these invading spirits.
They get weaker the longer they're in.
But Jade's not convinced, at all. She's like, no, they're trying to kill him.
Mia, fearing that Riley may not have time, attempts to contact him in the hospital by using the hand, but is instead shown a vision of Riley being tortured by spirits in limbo.
Yeah, that seems pretty fucking gross. Mm-hmm. It reminds me a little bit of the shunting scene from... not the Brood, the Society, where there's just blobs of people, and it's just, I mean, that's what, there was literally just all these gross, disgusting, blobby, wet, ick, gross, those spirits were gross, and they're just attacking Riley. Mm-hmm. That scene, I mean, he just looks miserable, and, at one point Jade says, every time he wakes up, he tries to kill himself again. I mean,
right.
And if that's what you were being tortured through, don't you think that you would probably want to die?
Would be dead too, exactly. Yeah. So at home, Max reads Rhea's note and to Mia and apologizes for hiding the truth from her.
Yeah, because in the note, it is a
suicide note,
right?
Basically.
Yeah, that he hid from her for 2 years. Yeah. So the story that she tells to Riley is that her mom accidentally took too many sleeping pills. And that she clawed at the door to get out because she wanted help. And had wood underneath her nails. Which I think is kind of a strange story.
Right, to buy, right.
Yeah. I mean, that's hard for me to buy.
Sell, exactly. Yeah. It's a hard sell.
Yeah, so Rhea's spirit tells Mia that Max is lying. And that she wouldn't ever have left her. And Mia basically begins hallucinating at this point, because at this point we see Max is sitting on the couch and he finds the backpack with the hand in it and he pulls it out and he's looking at it like, what the hell is this, In Mia's room, she is hallucinating that Max is trying to break her door down.
Yep.
And he gets in and he's on top of her, and at some point Max actually gets into the room and is just, even though she's hallucinating, and she stabs him in the neck.
With a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
Rhea tells Mia that Riley needs to die in order to be set free of his possession. The fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so when she shows up at the hospital, this whole little trap to get Jade out of the hospital so that she could get in.
Right.
But when she's standing there, she walks into Riley's room and she's got them scissors in her back pocket. And I'm like, oh, she's just gonna stab him.
No, right.
Is she just gonna stab him? Right there in the hospital? That was my first thought. And I was like, oh, girl, you have done lost your damn mind. Like, I mean, I get it, but...
She wasn't in much of a state of mind
No.
prior to any of this,
absolutely.
honestly.
So at that point, Mia kidnaps Riley from the hospital, and Jade sees Mia pushing Riley in a wheelchair towards the highway, which was, yes.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just like, no.
Right,
no,
right,
This is
right.
not going to happen.
Right. So Rhea attempts to convince Mia to push Riley into oncoming traffic. Yeah, you heard that right. She's like, kill the boy. It's the only way to save him. But Mia jumps into the oncoming traffic instead and dies.
It's interesting to note, too, that in the position that she's laying on the pavement there mimics the kangaroo in the opening, well, not the opening sequence, but when she picks up Daniel.
Yeah, when she picks up Riley at the beginning of the movie and they find the dying kangaroo on it. Yeah, you're totally right. Because it was definitely foreshadowing. And not only that, there was foreshadowing in the event of her not putting the kangaroo out of her misery because she was meant to kill Riley.
Right.
And she couldn't do that either.
No.
So she chose to take herself.
So
Mia
Yeah.
then finds herself in a hospital where she sees a fully recovered Riley talking to Jade and Stu while Max, her father,
Yes.
we never established that, but Max leaves in an elevator.
He can't hear her. She keeps yelling for him and he
Because-
can't hear her.
Because he's dead.
He's
He's dead and he's going into an elevator to go to heaven.
I didn't think about it like that. I thought he survived and was just there visiting, but that makes sense actually.
Nobody responds to her, and as she has no reflection in the mirror, she sees that her hands are now disfigured, and honestly, the lights just flicker out.
right.
You know,
Starting to get that
She
whole
realizes
possession
what's
feeling.
going on.
Yes,
She's
yes,
like, oh
yes.
shit.
So, after becoming engulfed in darkness, she sees a hand extended over the candle in the distance.
Yeah, so there's just a candle and a hand. And she grabs it, and suddenly she's summoned to a house party in Greece.
is it Greece? I thought they were speaking Spanish.
Nope, I mean, according to IMDb, or according to Wiki, it was Greece. And according to my subtitles, because I watch everything with subtitles, because my ass is bad here.
Okay.
And I like to know, especially when they have accents, I like to be able to follow along so I don't miss anything.
Right.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, I have bad ears. I've won too many concerts where I was way too close to the speakers.
I can deal with that with if it's in English and then you got the
Right,
subtitles.
right.
But when it's I don't want to.
Oh, you're not. Right. Yeah. No, I get
he
that.
has the same problem I do.
I get that. I love foreign films.
You have to find a film that really.
Yeah.
It's really
I
gotta
love
grab
foreign
your
films. It doesn't
attention.
bother me at all. But I also put subtitles on everything because my ears suck. And I don't. It's also like subtitles in general are for me to just like follow on, like go back and read whatever they just said if I missed something.
Right.
Most of the
Very
time.
true.
Well, I mean, your fair child distracts you with everything anyway.
No kidding. But yeah, so they're in Greece. According to my subtitles, it said man speaks in Greek.
Well, yeah.
But a partyoer is holding her hand, and the rest of the people around him, urge him to say, "I let you in."
And he does say it
I'll let you in.
Yeah.
in English, no less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He doesn't say "talk to me" in
No.
English,
No.
but he says "I let you in."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't understand why, but
And fade to black. That's the end of the film.
Yep. That's where the story ends. So, but there is talks of talk to me, which honestly, like, obviously the hand is still out there, so they can do a lot of different things.
Unless there are multiple hands, because
There
the
could be.
hand was initially in Australia, and if this is supposed to be Greece,
Yeah.
We don't know how it got from point A to point B.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So there
this-
could
this
be multiple
interesting.
hands.
Could be interesting.
Just
I'm
like,
excited.
I mean,
to
just
see
like
how
there's
that
multiple Necronomicon.
Right?
Yes.
True.
Oh, yes. All three,
So
yes.
for me, this is a straight up ceramic hand up to the sky, bloody machete, whatever you want to call it. It is
Two
Yeah.
from us and one from
and-
Jeff.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
This was a great film. It touched me on an emotional level. There was parts that I actually cried.
I actually did hate the ending of it with the girl dying, Mia dying. It pissed me off that she was not able to bring closure to herself and that the events of the film led to her tragic demise.
Yeah.
But other than that, the film was beautiful.
Also, one of the great things about the movie is that it doesn't end the way you want it to. It takes that twist. It doesn't end with that happy ending. Oh, okay, everything turned out. No, everything didn't turn out all right. Everything went to shit.
Again, it's an A24 film.
So everything's usually going to turn out like shit in the A24 movie.
Yes.
I also feel like it hits so many, like the social media thing, grief really, really strikes a lot in this, but also just trauma
and closure
for sure.
Yeah.
And I think because she didn't have closure on her mom.
No.
Her dad told her one thing, that spirit told her another thing. She didn't know what to believe. If you look back at Duckett and what happened to him, he obviously wanted to die too.
Yeah.
I think those spirits know how to drive people to getting them to off themselves.
They find those people that either have that weakness
they
or that
have the weakness. Well,
that...
and I don't know if they really clearly come out and say it, but there's a bit in the very beginning when Duckett and Cole are talking, and he's like, "Dad is dead." He says something to him about his dad being dead. So I think there's also some kind of correlation with someone close to you, or possibly a parent being dead.
And it preys on that
right.
familial ties.
It preys on the grief. It preys on the trauma.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yep. So that's kind of what I got from it.
And with that, we're going to send this straight back to Australia.
Get out of here. Go back with all the criminals. It's not like that anymore.
No, that's how it started.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Australia started off as a penal colony from the English.
Yeah.
Thanks, English.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's figure out what we're doing next. I think we're gonna stay
relatively
a little bit newer, yeah.
But we're going to finally, and I mean finally, because we've been doing this for almost 2
We're gonna
years.
finish out a franchise for the first time.
Nice.
Yes. It's the shortest franchise, though.
Yes.
Or one of the shortest franchises.
Yes.
But we are going to re-examine the legacy that is the Candyman.
Yes. I'm so excited. This one, yep. Come back in next week, please, when we delve into Candyman 2021. We will be here next Friday, so watch it and then come back and talk to us.
We will be. Jeff will not be.
Yeah, Jeff won't. Sorry, Jeff.
I got a date with a hand.
Yeah. You're going to get out of here. Watch out. Bye.
So, until next week, be sure to slash that subscribe button.
Stab the like button.
And ring-a-ling that gray bell so you don't get lost in the mix or buried alive, and you can stay up to date on all of our videos.
And until next time, we will see you all
in the afterlife.